Hello and welcome to Let's Ask the Angels on Spreaker. I'm your host, Barbara Calvano. It is my honor to serve you with guidance and messages to support you on your path of living with mastery. Hello everyone, it's Barbara Calvano on Let's Ask the Angels here on Spreaker and wherever you listen to on the listening podcast platform of your choice. Also, thank you, my Blog Talk Radio listeners who followed me here. I was there since 2013, so it's been quite a while. And there I had a live show where I could do readings on the air. And as I continue to say, I want to find venues to do that here on the internet. And I'll be letting you know here and also on my website if you follow me on my newsletter. And all of that is at bcalvanocoaching.com. I do one-on-one readings also, and all that information you can find there. So the first 4 months of living here in the United States, I broadcast from New York City. I must say it has been very exhausting, and also how its effects have been, the politics on the rest of the world also. So hopefully you've been connecting with your angels to help you and support you through these challenging times. I must say, just when I think that I've not felt a lower, deepest sense of despair with what I see happening in our politics, I'm reminded that we are changing things. Things are coming up to be addressed. And just like it's happening in the world, for many of us it's happening in our personal lives because you really can't separate the two. So that being said, the angel cards that I've chosen for this month are from the Angel Tarot deck, which is a deck I use most often when I do my one-on-one readings. And also later on, I'm going to be doing a Metatron meditation. In my next episode, I'm going to do a merging with Archangel Michael. I just took a class with Diana Cooper, and it's a powerful meditation on merging the energies of Archangel Michael and the Archangel Faith, his twin energy. So it's really quite encompassing, and I hope you have a chance to listen to that also. So for the month of May, again, from the Archangel Tarot, one of my favorite decks. If you're into getting your own deck, I highly recommend this one. What I really like about angel messages are this. Just when your own ego mind says, oh my God, what is happening? How can we get through this yet one more time? When you pull a card for yourself or get a reading, it really helps us see outside of our physical self what is going on energetically. And what I mean by that is energetically, there is a positive thing happening in the world. And when I say positive, just like the sun comes up every day and provides its incredible energy for all of us. It's kind of like that. That spiritual, beautiful, supportive energy is all around us. And before I get going, I want to do one of the readings that I always used to do. And this will be quick for those who are wondering, from Louise Hay's book. And it is a affirmation book that I highly recommend also. It's called You Can Heal Your Life. And I used to read this all the time on my other shows. And here we go. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I live in harmony and balance with everyone I know. Deep at the center of my being, there's an infinite well of love. I now allow this love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of love makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy. I love myself. Therefore, I take loving care of my body. I lovingly feed it nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly groom it and dress it, and my body lovingly responds to me with vibrant health and energy. I love myself, therefore I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that fills all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel this love and be nourished by it. I love myself, therefore I work at a job I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my creative talents and abilities, working with and for people I love and who love me, and earning a good income. I love myself, therefore I believe and think in a loving way to all people, for I know that that which I give out returns to me multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of what I am. I love myself, therefore I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. I love myself, therefore I live totally in the now, experiencing each moment as good and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure. And for I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me, now and forevermore. All is well in my world. And this again is from Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And boy, that feels good for me just to go through that one more time. And some of you maybe think, well, that's an awful lot of myself, going on. Well, when we take care of ourselves, which is our world, in our personal world, it impacts the rest of the world. And we can demonstrate to each and every other person that they too can love themselves and forgive their past, and there too be in a state of peace. And so that's how it begins. When you can totally embrace that you can deal with your own life, your past and everything, and embrace it all and create a future that you love, a present that you love. But definitely you are sharing this idea, this energy to other people who may not even be aware that this is how it all works. Take care of yourself, the world takes care of itself. It's very, very basic, it's very foundational, but it really is about that. Each of us is a frequency. And later on the show, I will be doing a Metatron meditation, which is about frequency. We are a vibration. Now, this does not mean you end up being a pushover and only see love, 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 love and light, which is we do, but we don't ignore the dark side. It's just that we don't focus on that. And we also stand up for ourselves. We stand up for what we know. When you and I challenge that in the world, we challenge and confront that which is uncomfortable, that which most people pass over or suppress or bury, hopefully not wanting to even look at things in this lifetime, that they can just go to their deathbed, just forgetting about things that they had done to people and whatnot, and just get over it because life is short. But the truth is, life is short, or long, however you think of it. But life is short, so why not embrace, confront, face those things that are difficult, really uncomfortable? And I'm specifically talking about family issues too, because believe it or not, if you don't confront it in this life, you're going to come back again and have to do it again. Why not handle it? And something happens when you confront something that's uncomfortable and difficult. Something changes in you. You see that you're much more capable of loving. You feel more in touch with life. You feel healthier. You feel more expansive and even more optimistic. So beware of kind of people who want to dismiss things that are not, let's just say toxic behavior that people accept. Because when we accept it in our personal lives on a personal level, it continues up and up when people, like we can see in politics, are people in authority who have not addressed their own personal childhood issues, and they are running the world from like a damaged 6-year-old point of view. So the best that we can do is to take care of ourselves, our own issues and things, so that we can become the best light, the best frequency in our own world, and carry that around with all the people that we interact with. It's not easy. It's much easier to face the world in denial and to pretend. But more and more people on a spiritual path are coming to understand that there's something called facing the truth. And facing the truth is not easy. And believe it or not, more and more people are. And that's why you're seeing the reaction to a lot of the things that are happening in the world. People are raising their voices. Some of them, it's costing them their freedom. But they're willing to do it for the whole community, not just themselves. And that's what it's called, to live from a sixth dimensional heart. You know, the fifth dimensional heart is one coming from your heart, wanting to be free. The sixth dimensional state is when you are ready to help the world, not just your own personal freedom. So that's a little bit on that. And we get into these ideas and information in my one-on-one readings that I do for individuals, and we go through it for an hour. The first time I meet you, it's an hour and a half on Zoom or in person. And we can go through at least 10 cards, which is like 10 areas of your life, and what angels are with you. What frequency are you holding right now? What is your soul wanting to push through to the next level on? Because that's what's happening for many people. So the very first card is from the Angel Tarot. It's Four of Water. And here it says, it's time to reevaluate your situation because you're currently missing an opportunity. The solution you're seeking is right in front of your face. Fortunately, positive forces are working to assist you now. Open your eyes to the possibilities and accept the help that's being offered to you. However, you may be distracted or feel emotionally trapped. It's possible that by focusing on what you don't have, you're taking for granted the good things that you do have. And other meanings for this card is discontentment, apathy, daydreaming, getting lost in your own little world, something missing, boredom. So what I can say about this card for myself is that many of you, if you've been following me, is that I had this 6-month issue with my new landlord, my new neighbors upstairs, and having to deal with my landlord. And this is the probably the most challenging personal issue I've dealt with in a long, long time. So much to the point I even had to say, why? You know, when you finally get to a point and you say, why me? You know, I'm almost embarrassed to say that. I was like, why me? And how we dealt with this noise situation with the toddlers, that we purchased flooring for them because the landlord would not, or was really giving us a difficult time with it. And when that didn't work, we purchased another flooring, you know, up to $1,000. The landlord paid a little bit, but he was really hostile, to say the least. And during this time also, he called a meeting with me and the neighbors above. My husband was not around at the time. And I thought this was going to be a constructive meeting about how to create more solutions. Basically, I've lived in perfect silence for about 33 years. 33 years renting here. And now, in the past 6 months, it was as if I was in a box and I was just hearing sounds like a bowling alley above me. Well, anyway, this meeting turned out to be not a solution meeting between us and our neighbors, hopefully with the landlord mediating it. It ended up being like let's just say the landlord decided to humiliate me in front of my neighbors, personally attack me. And I'm just saying that's nicely what happened. And the angels had guided me right before I went into the meeting to dress up, not to go in my sweatpants and, you know, put on a little makeup and go there professionally, and even to get a cup of tea, which I never would bring a beverage to a meeting, but I did. This was just next door, right? So I go to the meeting, and every time he would say something really nasty about me, being selfish, you know, thinking all about me, and that he made fun of me. I mentioned that I was psychic. I had to say something about my sensitivity, and I just took a chance with it. And yep, he decided to mock me, totally make fun of me. And then at one point he yelled, "You have 1 year to get out. You have 1 year to get out and to move." And mind you, again, we've been here for 33 years, invested hundreds, if not a few $1,000s in landscaping. And I love it here. It's a really quiet place in New York City. And I was really hurt by it. For about a week, it hurt my body. And all I could think of was, what is going on? And I can tell you, you guys, I couldn't see the positive. It's hard for me to remember sometimes, but there's a positive to it, that I can deal with this amount of uncomfortability. I'm lucky I'm not in a war zone like my neighbor's parents are in Kiev, Ukraine, But it has been really uncomfortable and made me almost be depressed. So it made me stronger in my own way, but it also made me appreciate any minute I have of quiet instead of just luxuriating in these long lengths of time that I have here at the apartment to do my work. I really have to be responsible for which time of day is the child not going to be running around or crying, and it really woke me up. So that's what I want to say. And I could see that, that's what happened. And you have a new relationship. Oh, I also ended up calling lawyers and finding out what my rights are as a tenant. And I just felt, sometimes getting news about something, a reality check, is jarring. It's not comfortable, but I feel more alive in the world and not just pretending that everything is all right. So that was what happened for me. So the next card is the Magician. And I really love this card. And here it says, Archangel Raziel, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. Now, coming out of what I just came out of, and how could I be present to this gift, this message? I'm going to have to let go of the past. Sometimes you have to let go of 5 minutes ago, like for real. And many of us go through life holding on to the past of what happened in childhood, and some of us are even carrying on past lives, which I think my landlord and I have some issues that are similar. And they've come back to teach me this lesson of how to be present, like really present, not just getting by present. So we have the Magician telling us this. This card signals that it's the right time to begin new projects. If you had any doubts about your ability to manifest your dreams, leave them behind. In fact, the more confidence you have, the more success you experience. Fortunately, the angels can boost your inner strength if you'll call upon them for help. Although many may not feel ready to move forward upon your path, you're actually more prepared than you realize. Your life experiences have trained you for this moment, and the opportunities available to you at this time are magical. It's not necessary to take any more classes or read any more books, which only delay you from walking through the door that's presently open for you. Take focused action with respect to any plans you may have been preparing for. No more procrastinating. Magical occurrences, concentrated efforts, unexpected resources. So Archangel Raziel is the wizard-like angel of spiritual secrets and mysteries who will open doors of opportunity for you. He'll also speed you along the pathway of manifestation so you'll enjoy success much more quickly than seems logically possible. So what this is going to take is, again, shifting. How can we have such great news when, like 5 minutes ago, you can see so much is falling apart in our lives and it's upsetting? That's the magic right now, my friends. That is the magic. Also helps to have special skills to cut away lower energies on a daily basis. It helps to connect with your angels, your deities, your ascended masters on a daily basis. To seek situations and frequencies of people, places, and things that are higher vibration. Make the changes that you can right now. The Serenity Prayer from 12-Step Programs is a powerful prayer to utilize, where it talks about, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So being in action instead of being feeling paralyzed and stopped or even depressed. So that is the second card, and it's incredibly beautiful because it really talks about what is happening right now, where there's a big distraction of lower frequencies that wants us to stay down as the new energy is rising up. And it's just it's beyond the, it's bigger than the causes and things that we see. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about the wars between countries, the conflicts and situations, it's even bigger than that. We're looking for a world that is kinder, gentler, abundant enough for everyone's needs to be met. Resources are shared instead of hoarded by only a few. So there's a real power grab happening in the world. We can see it. But how do we fight it? How do we work with it? How do we live while we see this big change happening? Where things will sort themselves out. And it's not going to happen overnight. It might take a couple of years. So how do we live day by day? We live in a constructed schedule of things that will help us be more peaceful, more confident, and not buckle down, not falter with people who are maybe very toxic at this time. So the next card is the King of Fire. And here it says, focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. So I might be that person who's creative, giving you some advice today, or you may even find someone else. But focus and full steam ahead. Devote your energy and time to the task at hand. You're in a position of leadership, whether you feel like it or not. And you inspire others with your enthusiasm. You may also receive advice from someone who excels at creative solutions. A natural-born leader with great charisma, charm, and flair. If you don't feel this way, you may attract this person into your life also. Often the head of a business or organization that allows him or her to be innovative and accomplish great things. Creative, idealistic, ambitious, influential, motivational, professional, theatrical. Also, this may mean an entrepreneurial venture, speaking in front of a group, the courage of one's convictions, making a difference. So you can see how we went from the first card where we're like, if we're so distracted and what's not going right, we miss the opportunity of your life right now. This moment is your life, not tomorrow, not yesterday, right now. And the angels really want to support you in being present to how incredible your life is, especially with the support of angels, ascended masters, good people, earth angels. Now, that entails you have to recognize that you can't do it alone. So many people are still struggling with the third dimension, which is reaction, and feeling like, well, I have to do it by myself because I can't trust people, or whatever issues and things you might have had from their past. But when we work with others, everything becomes a little easier. You might know someone in their 90s, they're not letting other people help them. Whereas if they let someone come into their home to help clean and to help them a little, might even be camaraderie, just friendship to have another person there. Their life could be so different. Or you could be in your 30s and you're not letting people in to coach you, to counsel you, to help you. We're not meant to do these things alone. If you notice, we live in a world with other people. And the more we can open ourselves up to trust and let people in, the more abundance you will have, the more abundance of a sense of freedom and peace, of joy and creativity, connections, ideas. Yes, it comes from connecting with other people. And in the day and age now of the internet, it's easy to go to work and come home and sit behind your phone or computer. It's never been more important to be with other people, even if it's just a hello. So the great resource we have is each other right now. That is truly what we have. And that's something that I had to learn to do because I was extremely shy. If some of you know my story, I grew up on Air Force bases. I went to 13 schools before I graduated from high school. And I lived in Tokyo during the Vietnam War. My mother's Japanese, my father American. There's so many things and issues that I dealt with. And it took a lot for me to learn to forgive, to learn to reach out, to learn to accept. But mostly, everything that we need is around us. And some of that is information. And some of that very well might be taking this class or having this reading or getting yourself a counselor or therapist. Getting healthier so you can enjoy life. Even while everything is happening around us, all of these different things that we see happening, we can still thrive. We can be some of those that thrived through this episode in history. I was telling someone the other day that it feels like, when you have COVID, it can last for most of us like a week or two. But what we've been going through for the first 4 months of this presidency, and yes, you can sense my political partisanship. Yes, you can. It's been like a sickness, a despondency, where I quit watching the news. I mean, I never really watched Netflix before, but at night I watched all of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul just to hang out with people and good writing, I might say, really good writing. But just to forget what's happening every day because it's in our face on social media. It's everywhere. And yeah, that's one of the things I did. And something else I want to share. The other day, I bought a cane. Now, I'm not disabled, but I've been trying to recover from a hip and low back injury from yoga and exercise for a few years. But I keep getting it re-injured because I don't take the time to rest. I really love to work out. I was a dancer before. And for me to not exercise, it takes so much patience. So buying the cane, because I used the cane to walk 3 miles the other day, my husband's cane, and it felt so much better. And I started healing, and I realized I need to stop and take care of myself so I don't become disabled. So it was a wake-up call for me to just do that. So maybe there's something in your life that you're resisting, that, you don't want to take the time to heal. I'm telling you, taking the time to heal will give you so much more. But it takes something to take, literally, going back to that affirmation I read about from Louise L, really accepting myself, loving myself enough to slow down. Because the energies of the world wants us to be in high reaction, high stress. And that's not going to work in the long run. And we don't have to do that. So thank you for listening to those readings. And now I want to do a little bit about Archangel Metatron, this incredible archangel, but also something called the Metatron Cube. You can use this in your own meditation to align your energies in your body. What I mean by that, we have energy centers in our human body. When I work with you and I teach about the 12 chakras, not just 7. Ever since Atlantis and the shifting times and frequency upgrades, we are able to connect to 12 different energy centers. So there are 3 above our head. The last one is not the crown chakra. We go even more. So we are really this energetic being connected to deep center of the earth, all the way up to the solar gateway, this opening that allows all the downloads and all the, I'm missing the word right now. Anyway, all the codes that wants to come through us, information. And most of this is really powerful information that is so subtle. But when you start feeling these energies, you start just feeling more confident and clear. And that's a pretty great thing to be able to feel. So the Metatron Cube, as written in Diana Cooper's book, I highly recommend, The Golden Future. It's a geometric tool. It looks like Buckminster Fuller's It's an isocohedron, dodecahedron. It's basically a geometric tool that all the sacred geometry of this universe, it holds it all. It consists of 12 circles around a central one, and every point is linked. And if you look it up, you'll see this. Now you can visualize this Metatron cube twirling, rotating from the very, very top above your head, the solar gateway, all the way down your 12 chakras, through your body, all the way down, through all the chakras, all the way to the bottom of your spine, through the bottom of your feet, down to the center of the earth. And when you visualize this cube rotating, it's actually pulling in all the energies, aligning everything, bringing everything to the center, twirling and whirling, just bringing all the energy in your body into alignment. So the Metatron cube works on many levels. On one level, it represents Source, surrounded by their 12 universes. On another, it shows the connectedness of our chakras with our higher self. On yet another, the universal Metatron cube, it shows the connection of our chakras with the 4 ascension planets and constellations: Orion, Sirius, the Pleiades, and Neptune. Whenever you look at it, something comes into alignment for you. And you'll see this diagram if you look it up, Google it. It's in nature everywhere. Archangel Metatron has indicated that when the Metatron cube is placed above your head, he can pour his light through it to activate the geometry you need to start repatterning your DNA for the new golden age. And when I speak of new golden age, it's not the same one that this other politician is talking about. This is the age that we have been intended for. This is our destiny, to live in a planet that works for everyone in a kind and loving way. When you bring in your 6th dimensional chakras, that's the chakras where you are connecting and sending energy to the planet. He can hold the powerful geometric symbol over each one in order to overlay them with your personal sacred geometry patterning. Angels, dragons, and unicorns will assist with this. When the Metatron cube is turned anti-clockwise, it pulls out stuck energy out of the chambers within your chakras, and when it is turned clockwise, high-frequency light is poured into the chakras through it. DNA, and why this is important now. Every cell of your body has a nucleus in its core. Within it is a DNA, shaped like double helix or 2 strands of beads, slightly twisted. There are 64 codons or beads in each double helix, and these give instructions for the functioning of your body. They also contain the codes for your hair, skin, eye color, as well as inherited diseases or predispositions to certain illnesses. Every individual cell in your body contains the genetic code for your whole body. The codes are based on spiritual decisions taken before birth. A predisposition is chosen by the soul, but there is not an inevitable outcome. Your thoughts and emotions, the food you eat, the way you live your life, and your beliefs all impact greatly on your DNA. When you're angry, hurt, or stressed, or indulging in lower emotions, the strands tighten up so the beads no longer connect with each other. Then you're like a TV that is not properly tuned in. So when you are tense, you cannot tune in clearly to the messages from your soul or monad. That's your highest source of connection. At the fall of Atlantis, 44 out of the 64 codes disconnected. 44 is the vibration of the golden era of Atlantis, and it represents the psychic and spiritual abilities that were taken away from us. In order for your 12 strands of DNA to be reconnected and switched on again, you need to relax deeply and raise your frequency with love. When you are relaxed and contented, the codons touch each other, and this means you are tuned to your divine potential and guidance from the highest. You can access your soul gifts. This will all happen automatically. The time is now. So when you are acting from your monad or I am, and have total control over your thought processes. You can command the divine intelligence within yourselves. In tune with your angelic self, you have the power to make anything happen. You can work through your atomic body to your electronic divine body. This is what the great illumined masters do, and it is the source of their power. So that is a bit about Metatron. So we're talking about a big deal. We're talking about the ability to manifest everything, including total health. So as I close this podcast today, I wish each and every one of you blessed, total health, total healing, total peace. And thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you feel inclined and are ready to have a one-on-one session with me, connect with me on my website at bcalvanocoaching.com, and we can see which archangels are with you at this time, answer any questions that you're dealing with your spiritual path, and more. So thank you again. Wishing you the very, very best, and we'll see you soon. The next podcast I'm going to do is a teaching one on merging with Archangel Michael. And that is the ability to have all of his qualities as a archangel of courage and strength and confidence merged into yourself so that you experience that in each of the cells of your body. Okay, thank you again. Have a beautiful day.